Hi everyone, Canoopsy here. I don't have to even tell you this, you already know this. Apple is a huge company right now. They're one of the market leaders in phones, tablets, computers, laptops, music, services. Whatever they decide to step in, they end up dominating that market. But this video isn't about present-day Apple. This video is about Apple of the past and how some of their classic products have actually evolved into the ones we use today. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the platform to learn all the creative skills you've always been interested in learning. The first 1,000 people who join with my link in the description get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can explore your creativity today. Okay, so Apple had its start in the tech world with computers, more specifically the Apple I, which was pretty much just sold as a circuit board. You could buy cases for it, but essentially it was a very basic computer. But then came the Macintosh line, which was really the beginning of Apple's more approachable personal computer experience. They had a more pleasant user interface featuring icons and menus, as well as a mouse, which was quite the new innovation at the time, and for many people was their first real exposure to it. These computers used floppy disks to run games, creative apps, software, utilities, and the desktop UI. The design of the Macintosh is now quite iconic and minimal. It even featured a handle for easy carrying and transport. I personally didn't live in the 1980s, but who knows, these could have been used in coffee shops. They are quite portable. Fast forward to today, Apple still of course is making desktop computers, but the mass market Apple computer is the MacBook, not the iMac. Especially with the new M1 MacBooks, they're incredibly powerful but still portable. You can use them at home in a desk setup like a desktop computer and undock them and take them with you, bringing along that power. People, maybe not so much right now, are always on the go. And of course, a desktop computer is great for professionals needing a bigger machine with more processing power and more high-end specifications, but with the M1 MacBooks being so powerful for so many tasks, it allows users not to really need such a big stationary machine. Like in Final Cut or other optimized apps, they run incredibly well on such a thin, light machine comparable to Apple's desktop computers. This allows people to have a desktop-like computer at home and also take their work with them on the go with the same machine. But Apple did also release a series of laptops in the past. This one, the Macintosh Portable, is Apple's first. It's been relatively forgotten, but it is quite important. This machine didn't always need to be plugged in. It actually used a battery. This was Apple's first battery-powered computer. However, being a lead-acid battery meant there were quite a few limitations. If this battery completely died, you had to get a whole new battery. You can't just plug in the power adapter and use it like that. Mine, for example, doesn't turn on at all. I'll probably find a replacement battery eventually, but they're kind of hard to find and also pretty expensive. This computer features a full built-in keyboard, which still feels great today, a trackball, which is kind of hard to use, and you can also customize the keyboard layout with modular pieces like a number pad. There's quite a large range of I/O, and it also has, of course, a handle. Today, while MacBooks, the natural evolution of the portable, are very popular, the iPad has really become the successor as Apple's most portable machine. I've said it so many times in this channel so far, but I personally prefer using the iPad Pro or iPad Air over my MacBook Pro. And if I'm leaving the house or working on a project away from home, it's the iPad I grab, not the MacBook. And this is due in part to the form factor, portability, and the fact that the iPad's capabilities have really evolved and grown year after year. Now, when Apple really starts to become the brand that it is today is with the iPod. With a compact, simple design, easy to use user interface, and a natural scroll wheel, it really felt human at the time, and quickly caught on. It was also kind of the first example of modern Apple design and material choices. Gone was the beige plastic, old Apple logo, and is replaced with metal, glass, chrome, and a lot of things we still see in Apple design today. Even those earbuds, as weird and uncomfortable as they were, evolved into the natural design of AirPods over 15 years later. And the iPod itself eventually evolved into not the iPhone, but the Apple Watch. Now, the Apple Watch today can hold many more songs than the iPod ever could, but it also does a hell of a lot more. You get notifications, can make calls, send texts, use as a camera viewfinder, there's many fitness features. It's become quite advanced, but in the end, still shares many similarities with the iPod line. It has that same rectangular shape, uses a scroll wheel, and shows big album art as a focus. Here's the iPod Nano 6th generation, and here's the Apple Watch. Quite similar. I even used to wear this iPod as a watch with its various clock faces and third-party bands. It also even came with various fitness features too. It's interesting how even in 2010, Apple's vision of a smartwatch already kind of existed. The Apple Watch is also Apple's first real foray into fashion, with different case options, color options, band options, and more. And this new focus on fashion has transferred to things like the AirPods Max, which are clearly designed in a way that puts an emphasis on the concept of tech as fashion. Now, the iPhone. When the original iPhone was first released, it was pretty basic. At first, there was no app store, you couldn't change the wallpaper for a while, and it has a single rear camera that can only shoot photos, no videos. Also, it was pretty expensive at the time. But since this iPhone, we've seen so many different design iterations, and from computers to phones, the iPhone really became Apple's major focus. But really the idea of a smartphone has also changed quite a bit too since this first iPhone was released. From a simple communications device for calls, text, and web browsing, to a much more complex device for media consumption, photography, gaming, and so much more, while also being a communications device, is just a huge transformation. Okay, so when you look at things in retrospect, many things have changed, and not just technology or products, but full-on categories. Society has changed as a whole. And who knows what we'll see next in the world of Apple or technology, but as people move towards new ideas of digital minimalism, as we see the world change with the aftershocks of the pandemic, more people working from home, pursuing freelance, health becoming a major focus, these are certainly hints at learning what the next evolution of tech will be like. Now, on the subject of learning, let's talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with classes about all the creative skills you may have been interested in learning. Things like photography, design, illustration, animation, productivity, marketing, video editing, and so much more. It's all on Skillshare, and taught by creative pros with engaging, entertaining classes and real projects to help you practice your skills. And there are plenty of excellent classes like this one from Emil Satsker about iPhone photography. From conceptualizing to actually shooting those pro photos on your iPhone, it's quite an interesting series of classes. The first 1,000 people who join Skillshare with my link in the description get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can explore your creativity today. And after your trial, it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. Huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. So this is my final video of 2020. And going into 2021, I want to give a huge thank you to all of you amazing people out there. Every single one of you, you're incredible. And also a huge thank you to our wonderful, absolutely beautiful channel members, our sponsors, and also thanks to YouTube for being a place where I can, place videos. Now, this year has been a difficult one, a challenging one for many of us. For me personally, it's been tough. But I want to say thank you all for making this year somewhat decent with being able to make these videos, you watching them, giving me good feedback, positive comments, negative comments, I don't care. It's been a huge part of my year, this YouTube thing, and without you, I don't know what I'd be doing. Now, I just want to say, stay positive, stay up, stay focused. Things are going to be better. I promise you that. Things are going to be so much better. You're incredible. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in 2021.